Welcome back to Bizarre Creatures, the channel that plunges into the deepest, darkest mysteries of the wild, continuously uncovering the most unbelievable and often mind-bending facts of the natural world that challenge everything you think you know. Today, we leave the structured world behind and journey deep into the vast, sun-scorched and limitless plains of East Africa, a colossal landscape where the very rhythm of life is defined by constant, dramatic, and relentless movement. There, we encounter the massive, shaggy-maned wildebeest, or gnu, an animal with a unique NGO Nunghin appearance that completely masks a life lived under an almost unimaginable and non-stop pressure to survive. These powerful, seemingly clumsy animals have rightfully become the singular, iconic symbol of the savanna's brutal, untamed elegance. Participating in the largest, longest, and most devastating land migration on our entire planet. Every single year, a thunderous, overwhelming horde of nearly 2 million gnus undertakes a single, coordinated, and colossal journey. A hazardous, life-or-death pilgrimage fraught with constant, unpredictable, and relentless peril. This event is globally recognized as the spectacular Serengeti Great Migration, justly considered one of Earth's grandest and most emotionally dramatic natural spectacles, a profound, raw test of biological will and collective endurance. It's an absolutely grueling, seemingly endless cyclical trek spanning well over 1,000 kilometers, driven solely by one deep, primal, and non-negotiable instinct: the desperate, urgent search for fresh, life-sustaining water and rich, new pasture. As the critical, brief seasonal rains finally cease in the southern plains, the formerly lush grazing lands rapidly begin their inevitable process of withering, transforming from vibrant green to a barren, dusty, and unforgiving brown. That profound ecological shift is the universal, irresistible, and immediate signal for the gnus. Millions of bodies must instantaneously move and act in perfect unison, or face the grim certainty of a slow, drawn-out, and guaranteed starvation. The entire existence of a wildebeest is shockingly an urgent, high-stakes race against time, a furious, primal battle for survival that shockingly commences in the incredibly vulnerable moments immediately following birth. Within a mere 7 minutes of falling onto the ground, an infant wildebeest calf is genetically programmed to stand firmly, and in less than 15 minutes, it must dangerously run to keep pace with the rapidly moving herd. This incredibly rapid and necessary physical maturation is completely non-negotiable for their survival, as any pause, delay, or moment of lingering weakness is instantly targeted and swiftly punished by opportunistic predators lurking nearby. The gnu's only reliable, collective defense mechanism truly lies in their immense, physically intimidating number, where they form a single, massive, and continuously shifting wall of muscle against every one of their natural adversaries. Yet, even when seemingly protected by this overwhelming biological mass, the monumental migration itself remains an exhausting, relentless endurance test that strips the weaker individuals of every last shred of hope and energy. The unforgiving equatorial sun is often scorching and absolutely merciless, and the vast, parched, and punishing land is perpetually filled with patient, highly specialized predators, quietly waiting for any momentary sign of failure or mistake. The formidable, united hunting guilds of stealthy lions, fast cheetahs, cunning painted wild dogs, and powerful hyenas all view the massive passing gnu column as one enormous all-you-can-eat and totally guaranteed seasonal feast. The old, the truly sick, and the unfortunate slow ones are inevitably and ruthlessly culled from the running ranks, perishing rapidly and ensuring that only the genetically fittest are left to perpetuate this harsh, demanding legacy. But the single most terrifying and truly infamous obstacle of their entire route awaits them at one critical, life-defining, and catastrophic natural boundary: the treacherous, brown, and churning Mara River. The river water is unexpectedly deep, and its swirling current is violently fast and completely unforgiving. Yet even this massive natural danger is only secondary to the truly chilling threat that it so perfectly conceals. Giant, prehistoric Nile crocodiles, ancient and perfectly adapted killing machines that have survived unchanged for millions of years, are silently congregated beneath the surface, eagerly anticipating the annual guaranteed feast. These immense, frightening reptiles wait in a state of absolute, profound predatory stillness, remaining motionless and practically invisible beneath the river's muddy, opaque, and highly deceptive surface layer. The powerful, almost suffocating pressure from the millions of gnus building up inexorably behind them at the crowded riverbank forces a truly catastrophic, collective, and immediate decision: plunge into the water or be crushed and trampled to death. Finally, a single, terrified, and often completely desperate gnu leaps blindly into the strong, treacherous current, an act of seemingly suicidal bravery that instantly opens the terrifying, uncontrollable floodgates for the entire population to follow. And then, a spectacular, mind-numbing scene of absolute chaos explodes as hundreds of thousands plunge simultaneously into the rushing water together, creating an overwhelming, deafening, and completely unstoppable aquatic pandemonium. Desperate, primal animal cries of sheer panic and profound fear echo disturbingly across the canyon walls as the unseen, patient aquatic predators begin their devastating, inevitable, and utterly brutal feeding frenzy. Shockingly, records indicate that every single year, thousands upon thousands of gnus meet their disastrous, tragic, and watery end during this one mandatory, terrifying, and often completely failed river crossing attempt. Their bodies are crushed by the sheer weight of the surging herd, or they are tragically drowned by the powerful current, or violently torn apart by the patient, lurking crocodiles. A terrible, swift, and unavoidable mass mortality event. But the colossal surviving mass of the great herd is compelled by instinct to push relentlessly onward, because for them, to hesitate, delay, or turn back means a certain, equally brutal, but more prolonged death on the dry savanna. The few fortunate, emotionally scarred survivors scramble desperately onto the steep opposite bank, physically gasping for precious air, their massive bodies visibly shaking from the profound physical and psychological shock they have just endured. The incredible reward for all their immense suffering finally awaits them. The legendary Promised Land, the fresh, life-giving, and rich grazing lands of Kenya's glorious Masai Mara Reserve. Here, for a brief, critical time, they can finally find momentary peace, rest their strained muscles, and crucially replenish the immense strength and energy needed for the very next phase of their endless survival cycle. This brief, temporary, and absolutely vital season of plenty allows the successful gnus to successfully breed, ensuring that the next generation is born strong enough to perpetuate the species' demanding, dangerous journey. But inevitably, like clockwork every year, the rains shift and the inescapable dry season always returns, signaling the immediate start of the great cyclical, exhausting pilgrimage all over again. This phenomenon is far more complex than just a massive annual movement of animals. It is the raw, powerful, untamed, and vital heartbeat that governs and sustains the entire East African plains ecosystem. The difficult death of the weaker, older gnus is absolutely essential and critical, as their sacrifice literally feeds and sustains the entire complex food chain, including every predator and specialized scavenger. Furthermore, their immense, collective presence and droppings naturally enrich and aerate the fragile soil, actively cultivating the very next generation of lush grasses that will be required by the returning migrating animals. Dedicated conservationists and tireless local communities continue to fight fiercely, day and night, to protect this incredible, irreplaceable natural spectacle from the ever-present, growing, and dangerous threats of human encroachment. So, the next time your eyes fall upon a seemingly ordinary wildebeest, take a moment to remember its profound, epic, and unforgettable story of raw courage, necessary sacrifice, and relentless survival against staggering, unbelievable odds. The wildebeest migration is a powerful, humbling, and utterly magnificent reminder of the sheer majesty, terrifying brutality, and ultimate, hopeful, cyclical beauty that defines the raw power of nature. What truly shocking, bizarre truth should our team uncover next for you? Hit that subscribe button, and please tell us which unbelievable creature is urgently on your mind in the comments below.